Why, hello there everyone. I'm Laxow, aka the Kumo Sensei. Minasan, ohayou gozaimasu, yonshonishido, and good morning everyone. And this video here is a bit of a surprise, so let us get straight into this. So this is actually my Monocentropus Balfouri, one of my mature females, and this female had babies. And allow me to explain what has happened. So this female is actually a female that I retired out. I'm no longer breeding her. And the last time I did pair this female was over a year ago, and honestly I did not expect her to drop an egg sac because I thought she was late into her molt cycle. So honestly I thought she was gonna molt out and no egg sac, but this female held on forever. Like, she would not molt out, and honestly I just decided to retire her and pretty much just keep her as a pet only in my collection and never sell her or breed her again. And then about a month ago she actually laid an egg sac. And I didn't really want to record it because I didn't want to stress out the female, because any female that has an egg sac, you don't want to stress them out, so I just left her as is. And then earlier this week, slings hatched out, and here they are. So this sac is actually a very small egg sac, but honestly that's to be expected because 1, this female is an older female, 2, she basically didn't lay an egg sac until over a year later, so honestly the fertility is to be expected. But I have decided that I'm going to leave these babies with the mom. I'm not going to separate these or sell these. Just kind of keep them as like a small family communal. Now when it comes to communal spiders, I'm not really the person who advocates for communal setups, but when it comes to Balfouri, I'll kind of let it slide here and there. So for these guys, I'm just going to leave them as is. So this is actually a very small clutch. I'd say there's only about 15 to 20 babies, but that's pretty much the perfect number for this size of an enclosure, so it's not too big of a deal for me honestly, and I think that's more preferred in this situation. But I'm not gonna lie though, when I did saw that egg sac a month ago, I wasn't really too sure what to do with the babies if they did hatch out. I was a bit surprised, and as I stated before in my last video, I am trying to reset my collection so that way I can pretty much have a more clear head of what I want once I start buying inventory when I start my business, and also have space for doing other things such as frogs and things of that nature. So when I did saw this egg sac, I didn't really panic, that's not the right word, but I was really questioning what do I do with the babies if they do hatch out. And now I've just decided that since this clutch number is not that big with only 20 or so babies, and this female is a pet only, I've decided that these are going to be pet only as well, because this mother has earned it. So when it comes to these babies here, the majority of them are still in second instar, some of them have gone to third instar, and as I stated before, when it comes to Balfouri, they're not like your typical tarantulas that are ready to separate at second instar. Usually Balfouri takes about 6 to 8 molts to get into that decent sling stage that you see for most tarantulas, so they do take a bit of time to develop actually in comparison to most species. But anyhow though, let's talk about feeding these babies. So most of these slings are still at second instar, so they don't really need to be eating just yet because they're still quite young and they still do have a bit of fat on them still. As you can see, their abdomens are still plump and round, and usually it's not until third instar, which a few of them are pretty much already in third instar, so those will probably eat, which you'll see one of them will later on in this video, so stick around and see that. But for the most part though, when it comes to these second instar slings, I don't really expect these little ones to eat just yet, but if they do eat though, that is a huge plus. So I really don't want to repeat myself when it comes to how I feed Balfouri communals, the moms and the babies, and I've already pretty much made a video discussing about that here on the channel, so go check it out. And while I don't mind answering questions from you viewers, my subscribers, and from other people such as other breeders, while I don't mind it, at times I do already answer those questions in my past or older videos here on the channel, so at times I kind of scratch my head because like I keep forgetting that I get new viewers at times. So a lot of the new viewers haven't seen my older videos, which is why they're asking pretty much questions I've already answered in the past, but I don't really mind it from time to time because I'm overqualified for what I do. And I do appreciate when people do send me questions and emails, you know, just about anything in general revolving around tarantulas. And I have to say, this week I did get a couple of emails, which isn't a lot, but I am happy to read them because one of them did come from a father and a son. They've been watching my videos and they've been enjoying it, and they did ask a very good question. when will I take in an apprentice? And honestly, that time is not yet, because my story is still being told. There's still so much I don't know, while there's a lot that I do know. So it's basically a never-ending learning process. But at some point though, I will take in an apprentice, but as of now though, it's just too soon. And also, I'm very picky when it comes to choosing people. I do have my qualities I'm looking for, and I will not tell anyone what those qualities are, because that's going to be something only for me personally, and that's when I'll know I'll find the right person. If I tell people what I'm looking for, everyone is going to try to fit into that piece that I'm looking for, so I'm sorry, that is going to be for me only. But you don't need me to teach you though, because there's so much information and sources online already to teach you how to breed, how to sell, and pretty much how to do everything in this tarantula hobby. Well, you can pretty much learn anything on the internet nowadays, so you don't really need me to teach you. Just for me personally though, I would like to have a future apprentice, but that's for later. Now, as you can see, one of the third instar babies is actually eating off the dead roach that the mother has pretty much chewed up. And this is how mothers usually feed their tarantulas when it comes to the species. So usually for me, when there's larger numbers, I do throw in some extra pre-killed prey around the enclosures, so that way everybody gets a chance to eat, and every baby can find a food source, because sometimes one prey item is not enough, especially in an enclosure this size. Because think about how small the babies are, and them finding the food. It's not going to be so easy. So usually at times I throw in the extra pre-killed prey just to ensure that they get a chance to eat. Now I know some of you may worry that some of these babies may not eat, but don't worry, because I'm very good at what I do, and I actually do have other videos here on the channel with other Balfouris and their babies eating together, so go check those videos out here on the channel, and feel free to steal my knowledge, because how dare you. No, I'm kidding. I know a lot, just put it that way. I don't know everything, but I know a lot. But I guess I'll call this a video for today. So, as the typical, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to stick around. I upload every single Tuesday and Friday here on this channel, and also support me on my social medias such as my IG and Patreon. Shout out to my Patreon members such as Cal for keeping my tarantulas fed. And with that, stay lax and Laxow out from the Kumo Sensei.